Scagnetti. Heard a knock at the door. Boom. 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 So we opened it. And there on his stoop stood the beautiful princess from the valley below. And the wind whipped about her hair, and the snow swirled about her. And Lou Scagnetti froze. The first time in his life, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know whether to kill her and eat her, or whether to bake her some of those tarts he was so fond of. The ones that featured choke cherries and brown lichen, little bits of dust.
Fraser,
What?
what are you doing?
I'm telling you a ghost story. It is customary to exchange ghost stories around a campfire in the wilderness.
We're not in the wilderness.
It's an approximation of wilderness.
No, it's not, Fraser. We're in a park in the middle of Chicago. I had to step over a wino and kick 2 junkies just to get here. This is not the Yukon territories.
It's the Northwest Territory or the Yukon. The thing is, I was feeling a little suffocated at the consulate. I just felt I needed some room to breathe.
You know, I got 2 things to say about that. 1, you are not Daniel Boone, and 2, this air, the less room to breathe, the better.
Dinner?
No, thanks.
Oh, you really should. Everything tastes much better cooked over an open fire. Beef.
Oh, yeah? What about, spaghetti?
Oh, it's delicious. And those Rudy tubers, they're very tasty also.
Where'd you get this?
Diefenbaker dug them up under that tree over there. Oh, here we go again. Mr. Tucci and his pretzels.
Buonasera, Signor Red Costa.
Mr. Tucci, I'd like you to meet a friend of mine. This is Ray. He's with the Chicago Police Department.
Buonasera.
How's it going?
It goes. Hey, there's my boy. Con carne.
Tucci, you spoil him here. Please let me...
No. It's end of day. It's not so fresh. I charge only for fresh. That way I keep my reputation. I better go home. My wife, she's worried for me. Arrivederci.
See you tomorrow.
See. Ciao.
Nice day.
Yes, he is. He and his wife celebrate their 40th anniversary next week. They had hoped to go to Sardinia for a visit. Mrs. Tucci's very ill. She requires round-the-clock nursing.
Where's Sardinia?
It's in the Mediterranean. It's an island.
What? She's worried for me.
Everything is going to be all right, sir. Help is on its way.
Please. Look after my wife.
Yes.
Chicago PD.
Scumbag!
Stop. Police officer, I'm a police officer. Just, oh, God.
Notte. Mi sorry.
How's your nose?
That was some kick.
She was innocent, Ray. She thought you were attacking her. Wait here.
Fraser, you don't have to do this. This is my job.
Well, I promised Mr. Tucci that I would look after his wife. That's a promise I intend to keep.
Yes.
Miss Tucci, we're with the police.
Come on in.
Mrs. Tucci, these men are with the police.
Oh, Mr. Redcoat.
I'm sorry, ma'am. There's been a shooting. I'm afraid your husband is dead.
What do you say? I'm sorry, I don't hear you.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, ma'am. There's been a shooting, and I'm afraid your husband is dead.
Franco!
Yeah. We're just starting the investigation now. I'm very sorry.
I should take her to her room.
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
She's something else.
Ray, if you don't mind me saying, that is a staggeringly insensitive remark considering the circumstances.
Look, Fraser, I'm very sorry for Mrs. Tucci's loss, and I will make every effort to find the killer of her husband, but the fact remains she is a very beautiful woman.
Possibly.
No possibly about it. I don't know who has less sex, me or you, but at least I still think about women. Is that better or worse?
It's an interesting question.
Thank you.
Vecchio. Where do we stand on the Tucci homicide?
He was killed with a .32 caliber. At this point, we suspect everyone and no one.
We can rule out robbery as a motive. This is found on the car.
How much is there?
$4,000.
Right. Now, what's a peanut vendor doing with $4,000?
Oh, it's not peanuts, sir.
Damn right it's not.
No, it's pretzels.
Whatever.
He's got a record.
Who?
The deceased did 6 months receiving stolen property in 1953.
Why are we investigating the deceased?
Because we're doing the full investigation.
Yeah, because he's Italian.
What?
He's Italian, so he's got to be mafia, right? He's Italian, he's a gangster. Did you ever stop to think that just maybe he's a decent guy who worked all of his life and saved every penny he has?
And kept it in his peanut car.
Why not? Fraser carries his around in his hat.
Quite true, sir.
Are you saying I'm prejudiced?
Oh, no, sir, I'm sure she doesn't mean anything like that. It's just that your remark does have the air of cultural stereotyping about it.
Yeah.
Let it go, detective. Remember, you're only pretending to be not Italian.
Ciao, sir. Okay, so what'd you see in the park?
Nothing.
You told the officer you saw something. Now, what was it? Look, I'm not in the mood for 20 questions, so just tell me what you saw.
A guy?
What kind of guy?
A lumpy guy?
Was Mr. Tucci with the lumpy guy?
Yeah?
Was he arguing with this lumpy guy?
No?
Did you ever see Mr. Tucci in the park have any trouble, like an argument with a customer?
Kill somebody over a pretzel?
When did you see this lumpy guy?
Right before the shot?
Can you describe him besides lumpy?
Droopy mustache? Big gut? Skinny legs? Like a fat, skinny guy.
Would you recognize him?
I guess.
Okay, come on. I want you to take a look at some pictures. A lot of different pictures. We got tall guys, we got wide guys, we got a mixture of the two.
You could set your clock by him, sir. The route was predictable and almost never varied. Over the course of the week, it became clear that his route would take him along here, then up to here, and then across to here on Rainier Street, and then straight back through the park.
You memorized the pretzel guy's route.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. It's not something that I actively choose to do. On the other hand, it's not something I actively choose to ignore either.
Fair enough.
I will try to correct that, sir. In the meantime, I thought it might be useful to your men to know where he had been on the day of the murder.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Hey, Frage, there's Luann Russell on the line. She's calling on behalf of Mrs. Tucci.
Franny, you're a woman, apparently. What do women look for in a man?
You're asking me? Why? What sick thing are you up to?
I'm just asking. I got this friend. So this love at first sight, is that legit? I mean, if you don't make a good first impression, are you dead in the water or what?
Well, you're not deformed or anything, really. I don't know. It really depends. I mean, did you show her your disgusting tattooed or how far you could spit or, you know, that charming thing where you kick holes through the ceiling tile?
Come on, friend. Give me a picture.
Ooh, aren't we touchy? Who is this woman?
Nobody. Just some man at work.
A cop?
No.
A criminal?
No.
I don't know, Ray. My best advice would be to be yourself, but in your case, I don't think that's a great idea.
Fraser? So, where are we going?
Well, good-looking boy.
That's my son, Frankie.
Your husband never mentioned him.
My Franco and Frankie Jr., they fight. So he ran away 20 years ago.
What did they fight about?
Oh, father and son, what does it matter? What makes a difference? But he'll come back. I know he will.
How long have you worked for the Tucci's?
A little over 2 years.
Can you describe Mr. Tucci?
He's unbelievable. He didn't have a lazy bone in his body. He worked every day from sunup to sundown, never complained. Those people I know just complain about everything, you know?
Yeah, I know.
They're both just amazing. She's got this nerve thing. It's only getting worse. Some days she can't hold a book. Her eyes are going. She never complains. I just love her. You know what she really likes?
No.
When I read to her. She loves these big romances. Today I started Sword of Desire by Donald O'Connor. Do you know it?
No, I don't get a lot of time for reading, though, you know, I like reading.
Well, they're great.
Gabrielle's chest heaved with passion.
The wind whipped her raven hair as she stood at the edge of the parapet, thinking only of her passion for Paolo. Her lips.
She reads it to me every afternoon. Sometimes she puts it on a tape, so if I get awake in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep, I listen again.
Mrs. Tucci, you said on the telephone that you were frightened.
I just don't understand what happened. See, Franco, he never talk about himself. Never talk about his business. Just shut you right out. That's Franco. But the last week or so, he was not himself. He was, how you say, distracted. He was so nervous. And now someone is... I feel so helpless.
Can you think of anyone who might want to kill him, Mr. Tucci?
No, nobody. It's that park. The crackheads are crazy. I told them it wasn't safe.
And perhaps a gentleman would like a glass of Franco's wine.
Oh, no, thank you.
Detective Vecchia?
No, thanks. I'm working.
I'll have a glass for sleeping.
Yeah, well, it's late and I'm booking off, so, yeah, a glass of wine would be great. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. Vecchio. Yeah? Okay, I'll talk to you in the morning. Emmy's report, he had cancer. He would have been dead in 2 months anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't say anything. He must have known.
What is it? What?
Your husband was ill at the time of his murder. He had cancer.
Franco was dying? They killed a dying man?
Who do you mean by they?
No. What if they tried to kill me?
No one would have any reason to kill you, Mrs. Tucci.
But no one had any reason to kill Franco either. Oh, I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid. Nothing will happen to you, I promise.
Oh.
Ray, I think it would be a good idea for me to bivouac here for the night.
You know what?
Well, I'll explain later.
Hey, I know what's going on here.
Ray, please.
Look, you just can't stand it, can you? You just can't stand that she's more interested in me than she is in you.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Look, I'll be back here. 6:30 sharp.
It's a nice clear night. Sleeping under the stars. Such as they are. I hear it. Oh, Ray. Glad you could join us.
Oh, yeah, I bet you are. Anything happen?
No.
You get called in on any emergencies?
No, it's been very quiet.
Good.
Lou Scagnetti looked across the stone table at the beautiful princess. And he said to himself,
Fraser,
what?
you think she had something to do with it, don't you?
Well, I try not to prejudge people, man.
You do. Come on.
Well, all I will say is that I detected a certain, well, almost a musk-like animal wariness about her.
Musk? You're talking to me about musk? I detect a certain kind of musk here myself.
We're on the road to romance. It's safe to say, and we'll make all the stops along the way.
Ray.
The
Ray.
of course is to simply
Ray.
hold your horses. To rush would be a
Ray.
Time?
6:30. Coffee?
Anything happen?
No.
You sleep?
Very little. You?
No. What about him?
I don't think he's moved.
You saw it all? Dogs, huh? They have all the fun.
Would seem so. Well, Ray, we should get going.
Look, Fraser, I'm wallowing. Give me a little time for a wallow.
Right you are. Do you, take sugar when you walk?
Oh, one. Can you believe this guy pedaled this entire route every day?
Pull over, will you? Pull over. Pull over. I don't know, I feel nauseous or something if I'm not driving.
Look, I feel nauseous if you are driving.
But you always...
Listen, Egg, let's end this right, okay? I'm sick of this argument. Is it because you got to have a steering wheel in your hands? Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, get out of the car. Right now, get out. Hey, this is for your stomach.
I suppose you think this is funny, right? You want to know something? It's not funny. It's cruel. I mean, all I said was... What?
It is.
Well. The Palermo Social Club.
Let me see if I got this right, Fraser. Luann is a beautiful woman, therefore she must be bad. And since she's a really beautiful woman, that means she's got to be really bad. Is that how it goes inside your brain?
Are you sure it's my brain we're talking about?
Randy said this was as close as he could come. Mind you, your eyewitness hasn't slept in about 6 months, so he wasn't at his sharpest.
What?
Nothing.
You think this is a woman in disguise?
Well, there is something sort of off-kilter about it.
You think she's involved, don't you?
Ray.
Look, you're going to tell me that this is a false mustache.
All right. The smudge she had on her upper lip when we went to the Tucci household could, and I say could, have been the residue of spirit gum used to hold a mustache on.
Right, and the pillow that fell out the
Might
chair.
account for the description of a fat man with skinny legs. I say might.
And I suppose that that cassette tape you found in the living room of her reading Sword of Desire, she used that to fool Mrs. Tucci into thinking that she was sitting in a comfy chair reading to her from across the room.
Thereby providing her with an alibi so she could slip out to the park and shoot Mr. Tucci. But as they say, Ray, this is just the purest of speculation.
Right, so why don't we just bring her in here and grill the snot out of her?
Without cause, that would violate her civil rights.
Jack and Dewey called in. Old man Tooch used to bring his pretzels by the Palermo Social Club every day. It's a real wise guy hangout. I mean, you had to have major bones before you could even get a decaf there. Maybe he heard something.
So you're saying this is mob-related?
Hello. Random. Anyone ever heard of random killings?
He owned a home in Lincoln Wood. Had a couple of semis in Oak Park. No mortgage. He's worth $1.7 million.
Related to the mob.
I would resist the temptation of jumping to conclusions, gentlemen and lady. I mean, by way of example, Joel Bodiak was a humble janitor with the Women Christian Temperance Center in Eagle River, and as honest as the day is long, but by the time he died, he owned a split-level home, 2 power boats, and several expensive pairs of shoes.
Miss Vecchio, the phone records. I want to know what calls were made to and from the Tucci house and who made them.
Probably to Al Capone. Did you ever stop to think this might be personal? I mean, we know this guy's worth $1.7 million. So who inherits it? Did you ever think of that?
Mrs. Tucci, it would appear that your husband has left everything to Franco Jr.
Ah, Frankie. Frankie will take care of me. My Frankie.
So what now? Did you know Mr. Tucci was worth $1.5 million?
Yeah. No, I knew he had some money.
You know where he got it?
Well, he worked 12 hours a day for 50 years. I guess he just saved it.
And it all goes to a guy nobody's seen for 20 years? A guy who could be dead for all anybody knows.
The courts will direct at least half of it to us. To Mrs. Tucci for upkeep of the house and everything. She'll get the rest after he's declared legally dead. I mean, that's how it's worked, you know, for other families I've worked for.
Right.
Ray. Things are such a mess.
Nah, they're not a mess.
Yeah, they are.
You all right? What?
Ray, I'm sorry.
You talking to me or chewing on a brick? Because either way, you're gonna lose your teeth, freak. Hi.
Hi. Listen, I'm sorry about, I didn't mean to make you feel...
No. That was me. I was way over the line. The guy's gonna call you.
You don't have to say that.
Yeah, okay. So...
Did the police find any money on Mr. Tucci?
Yeah.
$4,000?
Yeah.
It's mine.
So we can talk here.
I have to return that to the library.
Oh.
What's that?
Oh, it's our suspect. You ever see anybody around the house who, look like that or...
No, it's odd looking.
Yeah. So, money.
My pay, a month's pay.
The Tucci's paid you $4,000 a month cash?
The last Friday of every month, $1,000 a week. I know it's illegal. I didn't pay any taxes or anything, but I don't have any education or training, so I couldn't say no.
You didn't think to ask him where you got it?
No, it's none of my business. The thing is, with the will being the way it is, we really need that money now. Can I get it?
I don't know. I'd have to ask my lieutenant.
I understand. I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That's okay. No trouble.
Hey, baby, what's your hurry?
Well, I'll see you at the wake this afternoon.
Yeah, I'll be there. Sure.
We're gonna fall
Great.
in love. We're on the road to romance. It's safe to say, and we'll make all the
What you need is a cold shower.
I think what you need is a size 10 kick in the deep. What are you looking at? It's the same plot.
I'm sorry?
Sword of Desire, look. Okay, in the book, Gabriella is a lady in waiting to the aging Duchess. Then the Duke dies. Follow?
I think so.
Good. Cast of characters, okay? Luann, Gabriella, Duke, Mr. Tucci, Duchess, Mrs. Tucci. Gabriella has the Duke killed so she can get a hold of the castle and all the grapes.
Grapes?
It's Italy. It's a wine castle. Anyway, Gandolfo shows up and the villagers go bananas, right?
And Gandolfo is...
We don't have a Gandolfo yet.
So what's the point, Ray?
The point is she's involved, right? She's after the old man's money, just like in the book.
Are you suggesting that she left the book sitting around here in some sort of subconscious desire to be caught?
Well, it sounds dumb, but you got a better idea?
Maybe she just forgot it.
And what the hell are you doing with my mail anyway?
Oh, I'm sorry. I noticed your box hadn't been emptied in about a month. To your credit, it seems to have been stuffed largely with fast food menus, so I don't think any vital police work has suffered. There is also a fax that came in from the National Crime Database. They ran a check on Luann Russell. She has a record.
For what? Phone fraud, mail fraud? She's a con artist?
She has been. She may not be now.
She's a con? She likes me? What does that mean?
Luciano Siracusa. Milano Valencia. Mrs. Tucci. And there is Luann Russell.
And that's Gino Tortelli.
Owns the Palermo Social Club, runs the east side for the Iguana family. Hey, who's that guy with Mrs. Tucci?
Don't know.
Perhaps we should find out.
Grazie, signorina. Oh, Constable Fraser. Constable, come see my Frankie. My Frankie's come home.
Gandolfo.
It's unbelievable, my boy.
Haven't changed a bit.
I wish that were true, Father.
Frankie, this is my friend, Constable Fraser.
Oh, I've heard a lot about you.
And I you, sir.
Oh, excuse me, I'm,
Detective Vecchio.
Lots of police. Luann.
Not now, Ray.
I'm so ashamed, Mama. I should have come home a long time ago. I should have been here. If only I could see Papa again. Ask his forgiveness. But I am never gonna leave you again.
Frankie, it's Gino Tortelli. I was a great friend of your father's. If there's anything you need, anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome home, Frankie. Welcome home.
Okay, maybe it's just my suspicious nature, but a guy disappears for 20 years and then he shows up a couple days after his father's murder just in time to inherit $1 million. I don't know.
Hey, hands off the merchandise.
I hate this computer.
Well, here's why we didn't find Franco Jr. when we ran his father. 1979, couple of chops as a juvenile.
Chops? Do you mean beefs?
Yeah, beefs, loins, chops, ribeye. It really doesn't matter. The point is, they seal the records and they think he also goes by the name of Sammy Frank.
Went by the name Sammy Franks.
Film at 11 or what?
All right. A few years back, I was at the 1-9, right? couple of marshals from Tucson, wearing those big cowboy hats and everything, fly in to pick up one of our callers, Nervous Nellie Martin, who's up on a murder one chop.
Wait, hang on. Did you hear that? Chops. Chops are okay. Thank you, sir.
Chops are good. Put lots of sauce in the side.
Would you let me finish the story here?
Sorry.
All right. So the victim is Sammy Franks, an up-and-coming mob guy, right? Attracting a lot of heat at the time. But Nellie beats the rap because they can't find enough pieces of Frank's body to identify. No body, no murder. No murder, no prison volleyball.
So this Sammy Franks may or may not be Franco Tucci, who may or may not be dead, and this guy at the Tucci house may or may not be him. Is that about it?
I think you put it rather well, Rick.
Oh, I finished checking those phone numbers, and there's nothing here except a bunch of calls made to a detective agency.
From the Tucci house?
Of course.
Why would they be calling a private investigator?
I don't know.
I need to check this out.
It's Apex Investigations on Van Buren.
Van Buren? Van Buren. So, do you know when he'll be back?
He didn't say.
Look, he's not in any trouble. I just want to ask him a couple questions about this case I'm working on.
Mr. Fahey is never in trouble with the law. He's very law-abiding. Doesn't even get parking tickets.
No tickets. Lucky guy. That's a lucky guy. You get tickets?
Sometimes.
Oh, I get them all the time. I hate them. But I'm a cop, so those tickets you get, they could kind of, you know... That's a nice dress. I like that. That's very attractive.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
You could leave your name and number. I mean, he checks his messages.
Right, well, he would have to because he's out in the field looking for the missing persons, right?
Well, not really. Actually, his specialty is not finding them.
Excuse me?
Like, if you want to declare someone legally dead, you gotta make an effort to find them. Something you can show a court.
Time you got with the program. I'm in charge here, and what I say goes.
You promised me.
Hey! All good things must end. You've been on the gravy train for what, 3 years now?
Are you all right?
Constable, you startled me. Yeah, I'm all right. Something's wrong. Franco's acting crazy. He's talking about putting Mrs. Tucci in a home.
Did he say where he was going?
Get a drink.
Excuse me. Ethan Baker, come. I said, come. What do you think you're doing? You're part of a team, and on a team there's only room for one alpha dog. Like it or lump it, that is me, Alpha. Now, come. Diefenbaker, stay. I thought you'd like that.
don't want to do this.
Sorry, pal.
Think about it, Nellie. Right now, I'm the only friend you have.
Do I know you?
No.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Constable Benton Fraser, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Well, it's not really important. What is important is that 2 years ago you were paid money to kill Sammy Franks. And certain people are going to be very unhappy to discover you've missed a second time and that their money, which I'm virtually certain is all gone, is in fact all gone.
Yeah, we got a good point.
Thank you. Why don't you give me the gun? And I promise you the full protection of the Chicago Police Department.
We can make a deal.
Deal? Here's your deal. You tell us everything we want to know, okay? If we want to know the lyrics to Oklahoma, you better know them. Because if you don't, we're going to kick you out of here and broadcast your movements on the all-news traffic reports. You dig?
Okay. Well, all right. Okay, fine.
That's good. Good, man.
Yeah, it's Ray.
Ray, where are you?
I checked the photo on his PI license application. Franco Jr.'s real name is Wayne Fahey. He's the PI she hired to find the long-lost son. It's a scam.
I don't think Ms. Russell...
Look, I'm going over there right now to pick her up.
Ray, wait.
I can pick him, can't I?
Anyways, like I'm in Phoenix, right? And this guy comes up to me and he says, I'm surprised you're showing your face. And I says, why? He says, a buddy has just got back from Chicago and that Frankie Tucci's back in town. And I says, no way. I killed the guy, you know. And he says, no, he's walking around. And I think, geez, this is an affront to my professional dignity. I mean, someone pays me good money to kill a guy, bing, bing. I kill him, I'm a professional. Hey, if that's a crime, I'm guilty, right? Plus, the DeLuca family be trying to kill me, right? So I hop the first plane east, and I start asking around. And I find he's walking around, he's squeezing melons like the Godfather.
You took a contract on Frank Tucci Jr. 2 years ago in Phoenix.
Only wasn't going by the name of Tucci then. He changed it 2 years ago after he left home. I got him on his boat, blew it right out of the water. All they found of him was pieces. I guess it was pieces of somebody else.
You proud of it?
So what do you got,
I'm saying I'm
Constable?
proud of it's my job.
It's interesting you should ask, sir.
You do your job, I do my job. Hey, you wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for guys like me.
Mr. Nelly, got a couple of news bulletins for you. The good news is you were right the first time. You did kill Frank Tucci in Phoenix. Bad news is you just ratted out the DeLuca family. So if you're gonna help yourself, I would start pretty quick.
Yeah, okay.
Fraser, you want to sit back? You're blocking the mirror.
What, he's there with you now?
Yes, he's here, and he's acting crazy. He's running around like a madman. What's going on?
Get out of the house. Go.
Put it down.
You're not Franco.
I'm damn right I'm not. But someone who thinks I am just tried to kill me.
Why?
I don't know, and I don't care. But you can have Franco Tucci, the money, the old lady, the whole 9 yards. I'm getting out of here.
I don't think so. Drop the gun. Man, am I glad to see you. Someone just tried to kill me.
Look, I heard you. Now drop the gun. You put the gun on the ground. Slowly. Kick it over here. Kick it.
want to know is which one of you pulled the trigger.
What?
She did. The whole thing was her idea, I swear.
Okay, both of you on the floor.
Ray.
On the floor, both of you. Hands behind your head, interlock your fingers. Get down.
Mr. Tucci feared that when he died, there would be no one to provide for his beloved wife, so he hired this man, Fahey, to help him find his long-lost son. When he showed Fahey the photograph of his son, Fahey's resemblance to Franco Jr. was obvious, and that was the genesis of his scheme. He would murder Mr. Tucci, then he would impersonate the son and lay claim to the money and the property that Mr. Tucci had told him awaited Franco Jr.
He didn't know the old man was ill and probably would die in a few months.
And he didn't know the real Franco was a man with a price on his head.
The axiom would seem to hold that proper preparation prevents poor performance.
So she had nothing to do with it. I don't know what to say. I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did.
Look, I'll talk to my lieutenant and I'll get back your $4,000.
I know that's good, Ray. Because as we walk along life's highway, it's nice to know in a crunch I can just really count on you.
Look, wait a minute. Why couldn't I trust her? I mean, if I trusted her, I would be sitting with her tonight instead of sitting out here in the wilderness.
Well, we aren't actually in the wilderness, Ray. We're in a park in the middle of downtown Chicago.
It's not you, you know. Those things I accused you of, it's me. I mean, I looked at her. She dropped dead beautiful. She looked at me. She's actually interested in me. And right away, I click. I start thinking, okay, what is wrong with her? What kind of guy is that? What does it say about a guy?
Lou Scagnetti looked at the princess who sat across the stone table in the stone cabin high atop Sulphur Mountain. And the princess smiled at him. And for a brief second, Lou Scagnetti could hear his own inner bell ring as though it were rung by 1,000 angels. And he took his hand and he placed it over his heart. And Lou Scagnetti vowed that never again would he kill and eat another princess as long as he lived. Unless, of course,
She recovered in choke cherries and brown lichen and sprinkling of dust.
Fraser, that is one dark story.
Yes, it is. Spaghetti's ready.
Where's Deef?
Gabriella's chest heaved at the sight of him. His boldness made her feel like a true princess. As he came near her, she felt a trembling that began deep inside her most secret place.